over there. Now maybe Thomas Tuchel and his team will try to get everyone involved as tired as possible in this training session, and afterwards there will be a dinner, of course, and probably most of them will try to get into bed as fast as possible. But as you all might know out there, everyone reacts very different to those time changes. Some have to fight with a big jet lag, others don't. Joshua Kimmich just said he usually doesn't have any problems with that. He's just trying to adapt time-wise as fast as possible, just push through, just tell your body that he has to keep on working. And that's the way he does approach this. Of course, if you stay in Asia for that long, talking about 7-8 days, it's a total different approach. As if I know that example from the past, Formula One drivers, for example, when they travel to Asia within the European season, which is often the case for the race in Singapore, they stay on European time for those 3 days. The hotels, everything is completely set up on European time. Breakfast on European time. It gets dark. Sleeping times during European time. That's not what these guys do. They have to adapt. They try to adapt as fast as possible. Now, it'll be a tough one tomorrow. The game, if you're just there for 1 day, tough to adapt right away. But the good thing is, the game is at a time that your body is used to work, especially during this preparation phase. Game will start, as I said, tomorrow at 12:30 European Central Summertime. So, of course, the body of the players is used to work at that time of the day. Manchester City already in Asia a couple days more, so they probably adapted a little bit better already. So here we go with another training form. The blue players, the blue jerseys, just outside of the octangle. Very special setup. Something Thomas Tuchel does a lot. If you guys want, you can think about the reason why he does that. Luckily enough, I've learned why he does that. He does that setup of the field with goals as well. And he wants to kind of force the players to always play the straight forward passes. If the field gets narrow towards the end, towards the goals, you can't play towards the outside too much, and that's the reason why he chooses that setup. Now we have the red team chasing the ball. And we have Joshua Kimmich. And in this case, I think it was Ryan Gravenberch in the middle of the field as kind of jokers. Yellow is back in the middle, and there's another break. Everything timed out very, very straight. There's always one of the coaches looking at the watch, timing everything through. It's completely timed out the whole training session by Thomas Tuchel and his team. Tuchel just had a little speech to the players right before the training session started here at the pitch. And now he's more in a position where he watches everything, gets his impressions. The assistant coaches are more the ones leading these kind of practice sessions. Of course, this time with the team is special for Thomas Tuchel. He joined Bayern Munich during the season. Did not really have any time to set up his kind of football, his idea of football. He wants to play with the team during the last season. He joined when everything was on the line, just before the game against Borussia Dortmund in the league. Champions League clash with Manchester City. DFB Pokal as well. So yeah, very tough for him to really establish anything he wants to see in the way they play football. Now he does have time to prepare those things. Now he gets, as you just saw, he gets involved for a little bit, but yeah, so very different for him. His first time to have a lot of training sessions with the team. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if he changes things, if he, especially tactically, there will be any changes, any different ideas during the training camp at Tegernsee. In the press conference, he mentioned that the opponent they lost to in the Champions League last season, the quarterfinal, the reigning champion Manchester City, which will they play tomorrow with their coach Pep Guardiola. He said that this is state-of-the-art football. That is what everyone has to focus on, and he especially mentioned that Pep Guardiola played the Champions League final with 5 inside defenders, with 5 guys that are at least able to play the inside defending position. So maybe we'll see Bayern with the 3, respectively 5 guy defensive lineup a lot more often in the upcoming season. Of course, Thomas Tuchel, just as pretty much every coach nowadays in the top leagues, wants to have a squad that is capable of switching systems very fast, very easily during a match as well, but from match to match especially. So yes, tactical flexibility, something very important for Thomas Tuchel as well. So we probably will not see Bayern Munich play the same system during the whole season, but I can imagine that there'll be a 3 or 5 defensive lineup way more often in the future. We discussed that before during this training session. Options, he should have enough on the squad at the moment, at least. Kingsley Coman. Very good impressions of him during this first phase of the season. I've seen a couple of training sessions. Kingsley Coman seems to be really fit, really motivated. And we don't have to discuss that. If he's healthy, if he's fit, he is just one of, let's say, the 5 best offensive wingmen in Europe. I'm happy just to discuss that with every Bayern Munich fan out there listening at the moment, but I'm pretty sure you're with me on that. And of course, offensively, Thomas Tuchel has some options as well with Serge Gnabry, Sadio Mane being able to play out there as well. Alphonso Davies, who mentioned he would like to play that as well, but luckily enough for Bayern Munich, sadly enough for him, he's one of the best defensive left wingmen in the world. So we'll see what Thomas Tuchel plans are with him. Mazraoui, obviously feeling good, having fun here at the training session, Tokyo National Stadium. By the way, the stadium, the Olympics in 2021 have been opened and closed in it is the most important stadium in Japan, in Tokyo. It's huge city, Tokyo. Around 10 million living within the inner circle, the inner area of Tokyo, and then there's a lot of huge cities just around, like Chibu and Kawasaki, adding on another 20 million. So big area of Tokyo has around 30 million, think about 35 million even, people living there. That's something very different to Germany, to Europe, of course. That you only get to see in Asia. These guys obviously won't see too much of it. Tokyo, very, very impressive city. A lot of very nice landmarks. You can have a great time in Tokyo. I'm lucky enough to have been there a couple of times, seen that. Yeah, sad enough for the players that they don't get too much time to walk around, travel around within this huge and amazing city of Tokyo. We have a look at the goalkeepers with Ritzi Hülsmann joining from the amateur team, the under-23 team. Very tall goalkeeper. Jan Sommer and Sven Ulreich, of course, are with them. We mentioned before that Alexander Nübel, Johannes Schenk stayed in Munich to have their contract talks going on, pushed forward. We'll see what happens with them. And of course, Manuel Neuer still working on his comeback. Thomas Tuchel and his team decided, obviously together with Manuel Neuer, that it does make more sense for him to keep preparing in Munich and not join the squad yet for this Audi Summer Tour. So now with the black jersey in the middle as a kind of joker player, that's what I like to call it, Konrad Laimer, one of the new add-ons to the Bayern squad, joining from Leipzig. Another player that integrated very well into the team. Teammates very positive about him. Good guy, quiet guy as well, but of course with all his experience already in the Bundesliga and the Austrian national team as well, someone who can take on responsibility right away as well. That's his approach joining Bayern Munich. He says right away he wants to play, he wants to take on some responsibility. He knows that with his experience, his age, he's able to do that. Box-to-box player, has a very intense game. Bayern had to experience that on the second last game day against Leipzig at home, where he got in control of the ball at his own box and scored just, I think it was 13 seconds later on the other side of the field for Leipzig. That was pretty much a typical Konrad Laimer move. Of course, Bayern had talks with him before that already. They knew what they would get if they can add him to the team. His contract in Leipzig was running out. So another free agent, as well as Rafael Guerrero joining the team. And Jake Kim. Cost about 50 million. That was sealed in his contract at Neapel. So these are the big three add-ons for now for Thomas Tuchel. We just mentioned in the press conference once again that he's very happy to have Kim on his team now. A lot of his former coaches are very positive about him as well. They all say he can become even better, brings it all. to be a Bayern Munich defensive back and to still be one of the best in Europe on his position for the next couple of years. And talking about the new add-ons for Bayern Munich, of course we have to mention Rafael Guerreiro as well. Thomas Tuchel said absolute no-brainer to get him out of Dortmund as a free agent. Very flexible player, can play many different positions. Left outside defensive back, can play that position a little bit more offensively. Can play number 6, can even be number 8, and if necessary he can even play the inside defensive back position, Rafael Guerreiro. So yeah, you get a lot from him. Very, very good left foot, but basically very good with both feet and very quick. So especially with Alphonso Davies being out a couple of times last season, sadly enough, it's good to have Rafael Guerreiro on the squad as well. But sadly enough, he's sidelined for the time being. Sustained a muscle strain, right calf, in the training session on Saturday. We all hope he's back very soon. Portuguese international Rafael Guerreiro. That says it all. He's pretty much always in the lineup for the Portuguese national team, which has a lot of quality.